Hey, welcome to Trap Souls Podcast. I am here with Next Stop Paranormal, T, one of the members of the group from the land down under, as we call it, from Australia. So, how's Australia doing?
Today it's actually a hot day, so we're doing all right. We've had some crazy weather, but yeah, no, it's not bad.
Not bad. So, what part of Australia are you actually from?
So myself, I'm originally from Sydney, New South Wales, from the western suburbs. I moved up to Newcastle, New South Wales, so it's about 2 hours up the coast from Sydney,
Okay.
and that's where I reside. And then the other part of the group, the other three girls, my partner is also part of our group. Obviously, we live together. But the other three girls are in the western suburbs of Sydney. So it's kind of like my little link to home.
So, how many's in your group?
We currently have 5.
5.
We currently have 5 and we're all girls. And I know everyone thinks that would be a bit crazy at times. And yes, it is. But there are just 5 of us girls at the moment. So, and then we do have like some people who moderate for us, like when we go live on TikTok and things like that as well. So one of our moderators is actually in England. And another one is one of our mates up here in Newcastle as well. So, but 5 of us investigate, yeah.
That's nice. So, I do have to ask one question because it always pops up on your Facebook. What is up with the couch?
Sorry?
What's up with the couch?
The couch. Are you talking the picture?
Yeah, because you guys are always seeing.
Yeah, it always comes up. We've had questions about the couch. So that couch is actually at one of the locations we investigate.
Okay.
And it was really funny because it was coming into Christmas and we didn't know when we went to do this investigation in November that Christmas lights have been set up throughout this whole thing. And a couch had been put in, and I've never seen this said couch before when we've investigated here. And my partner was the one like, guys, we need to get a photo in front of this couch. And we're all like, people are going to be like, what's with the couch? And I'm like, oh, well, let's just do it. It's a point of discussion, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's literally just an antique couch that's been placed into the School of Arts. We don't know why. There was no like, hey, guys, we've got a new piece of furniture. It was just there. But everyone loves it. Like we sit on it throughout like the investigation, and it's just really comfy. But it's just like literally a couch that's just been put into one of the locations.
Yeah, I was scrolling through your pictures. I'm like, there's the couch. There's the couch. I'm like, there has to be something with this couch.
Yeah, so which is funny because like when we actually like a few of us sat on it to do like Estes and a spirit box session, and when like not myself, it was mainly Linda and it was Ash and Alyssa. When they sat on this couch, like it felt like people were like just sitting down and like putting their hand on your knee, and they're just like, it's tripping me out. And I'm like, just roll with it, guys, roll with it. Let's see where this goes. So I'd say it would be just brought in probably from an antique store, maybe an op shop. You never know. We don't always get the background of why they put like pieces of furniture in. So, but it was interesting to see them squirm when the blindfold was on, and they're like brushing their knee and pushing something away that wasn't there. So, yeah, but the couch was a very centerpiece because it's on the stage of the School of Arts where we do a lot of our spirit box session, and use a lot of our equipment is on the stage. So that's the reason why there's a said couch in a lot of photos.
All right. Try to do something. Not working. All right. So Australia-wise, what like paranormal? Like when we think paranormal in the United States, we think, United States and UK.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, what do you have going on over there?
Yeah, look, that's an interesting question because I've had this discussion with people before, and they're like, but you're a tiny little island, but we're a tiny little island with a lot of history. We're talking, from our First Nations people all the way through to like, colonization, convicts. And we do have a lot of history in this tiny little island. So, we've had asylums built when the gold rush took off. People lost their minds over trying to find gold and, trying to get rich quick schemes and things like that. So we needed asylums built to house people who were deemed a lunatic. And we have old hospitals. We've also got convict built buildings as well. So we've got like a huge history. The only thing is that some of our buildings, like our historical buildings, actually, instead of them just going dilapidated or just going to ruin, businesses will move in. So it might become heritage listed, but a business will move into that building and actually run their business from these heritage buildings, so they don't go to like shambles. But we do have like our old jails, our old asylums. We've got schools of art that were built in the 1800s. We've got old homesteads that were built in the 1800s. You've also got like Old Government House. We investigated Old Government House on a tour through Appy, who is another touring company, amazing people. But Old Government House is a convict-built building, and it's now heritage listed as a UNESCO heritage listed site. So we do have a very colonial convict past, and a lot of our buildings are there, and some have been demolished, unfortunately, or they've left to ruin and they're no longer there. But we've got a lot to offer. We've even got, like, if we're talking about infectious disease, you've got Q Station, which was built at North Head near Manly in Sydney, and that was to help fight or stop infectious disease coming into the colony of Sydney in 1832. It was established, and it started as little tents and then built into the thing that's there. So we have a lot, but I suppose it's not as broadcasted or as put out there as what America and UK do, because let's face it, you guys have some really big places over in those locations. So, but we do have quite a bit.
That's just because we have more crazy people. That's all. I mean, that's.
Well, I don't know about that one. See, like we have, we just done Aradale Asylum and Beechworth Asylum, also known as Mayday Hill, and that was so Aradale was in operation for, what did I say, over 126 years with 13,000. Now we're talking 13,000 reported deaths of inmates, patients, and staff. And then you also had Beechworth, which had a reported 9,000 deaths, built in 1867. And both of those were closed in the 90s. So our asylums went from 1800s through to the 90s. So that had a lot of history and a lot of trap souls, let's put it that way. It's just crazy to think, you think in the 90s I was like 12, 13, and I wouldn't have put that piece of puzzle together.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Next Stop Paranormal from Australia. So if you guys have any questions, not too many times we have to talk to people from Australia here. So jump on, ask questions. Hey, Donna. How you doing?
Guys.
No, I mean, you talk about a lot of history. Maybe United States and UK, we just publicize it more.
Yeah.
With TV and everything. Do you guys have any TV shows over there that do paranormal or?
Yeah, look, we did. We had I think it was Ghost Hunters Australia or Ghost Hunters International did an Australian based TV show, and they went to Elizabeth Street, Quarantine Station. We also have Cockatoo Island that featured on there, but we don't have things such as your Ghost Adventures or Haunt TV, which were our group obsessed with Haunt TV, but we don't have as big of TV show based about the Australian paranormal, which would be amazing. A lot of ours is through YouTube and the social media platforms that you see more of what Australia has to offer, which kind of stumped me, because I'm we have some really great locations. It would be cool to see a TV show.
Yeah.
Go to these places, and we do have a lot of American streamers and investigators come over and do these locations, but still we haven't really had a lot of TV shows. So the only one I'm sure of was that, like I said, I think it was called like Australia's Most Haunted, or Ghost Hunters International did an Australian TV show for that. But yeah, it's pretty wild we don't have it, because it would showcase so much that we do have to offer. So I would love to see it happen in fruition, like get us the shows to show the rest of the world what we have to offer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised with that. Like, someone's not done like just international like TV, like just not Australia, but you got a whole bunch of Paranormal Quest premiere for tonight is in Australia. Okay.
There you go.
But like even like South America, India, a lot of those places, I mean, huge history. Yeah. Italy, I mean, Italy's supposed to be fascinated with, paranormal, but it'd be cool to see someone like, Jason Hawes or someone famous to, get together and do a just international, just go around and see these haunted places.
Yeah, he was the one who come over and did the Australian one.
Yeah,
Jason was, but it was many, many years ago now. But like we have some like amazing Australian YouTubers as well, who do go to these locations, and they do investigate them. So what I always say to people is, if you want to see what Australia has to offer from Australian paranormal investigators, just jump on YouTube, type in Australian Paranormal Team, and like literally the teams just come up and they go to these places. You know what I mean? Like they will show you in Beechworth. They'll show you Arradale. That's something ourselves this year in 2026 are going to branch into, because people are like, well, why aren't you guys YouTubing? Like, we want to see what you're doing, not just photos and like snippet videos. And we didn't realize that we totally just zoned out and didn't think about that. So that's something we're going to go into as well. But there is some amazing Australian groups out there that I always tell everyone, hey, just literally jump on YouTube, type in Australian Paranormal Team, and you would be amazed. And that's how, we would have to get it out without the big networks pushing for it.
Well, I mean, a lot now, those big networks, I mean, there's only a couple of shows on there. A lot of people are going to YouTube. So, I always do this in my investigations now, is send someone in solo in the beginning and just go through and show the building, not really investigate, but just show the building. And I mean, that might be something you guys can do, because we've never seen that building before. So it'd be interesting to me. And
which is really funny, because we do that, but we never thought to put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so we had like we call it a team meeting. It's not really a team meeting. It's just us girls sitting around talking paranormal. But we're like, guys, why are we not YouTubing this? Why are we not showing like the location, and we're just showing photos? Like we should be showing, how we do baselines, how we do, EMF readings to make sure there's no environmental aspects coming into our, techniques, and how we could go about setting up and what the location's about, and give the history, because we do that on our lives, but we never thought, hey, let's record it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's something we're definitely going to do this year. It's just we're having a break, like I said, and January is my time to shine, where I'm going to start getting the locations booked in and get things happening like that for us. So, but it's definitely, I 100% agree with you. It would be interesting to show people the location with a walkthrough.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the more I get into paranormal and doing investigations, it's more about the building and the history than really the investigation itself. It's all right, we got one question, but that was, just seeing something from Australia would interest me. And just you walked around and saying, hey, this is, haunted and was whatever. I mean, that's what I like to see. But I'm just one person. So
yeah, well, no, like we totally agree with you, right? So we love the paranormal, love everything about the paranormal, but we're mad history buffs as well. So if we're going to go to a location, what my biggest thing is, what was that location used for? What come out of that location? Who built that location? I want to know the architect. Was it convict built? Do you know what I mean? We want to know the background to the location. In regards to the hauntings and things that happen in there, I like to tell people, please just don't tell us. Like, confirm it at the end. Like, let us experience that. But we still like to know, what that location's about. Like, how did that location come about? How was it used for what it was used for? So where, like myself, I go mad. Like, if like weeks before, I'm researching, I'm going to the library, I'm going to state archives, I'm looking at different newspaper clippings just to find as much as I can out about a location.
Sounds cool. So Elisa has a question. What was your most impacting experience?
Oh, that's really funny because I'm always one. If someone gets scared, I don't run. I run away. I run to it.
Yeah.
But we just have finished doing. We went to Aradale Asylum, so that's where there's reported 13,000 deaths built in the 1800s to house a certain amount of people. We're talking about, convulsive electric therapy. We're talking about solitary confinement, salt boxing, you name it. Everything happened at this asylum. So we went to the asylum. All was, you get to the doors of this asylum, and once you cross that threshold, it's like a different world. Like, this feeling comes over you and you're like, oh, we're not in Kansas anymore. Like, it's just, you can feel it. It's so ominous. And literally, as you're driving up, the road snakes up like this. And then it opens up and literally it says Aradale. And the L is like literally hung like a horror story, right? So we've gone in and I saw a lot, but my brain, I'm like a skeptical believer. Like, I like to try and make sense of it. Can I debunk that happening before I go, oh, that's 100% paranormal? I'm like, okay, was that a light? Was that a car horn? Were there people walking upstairs? Like, I'm trying to debunk things. So we get to what was known as the staff accommodation, because the staff had a 3-story accommodation at the back of the asylum. So the first floor, no problem. Second floor is where our tour guide Jasmine, she took us there. And I don't know if you guys have done this experiment, but where you set up live cameras on a floor and then you, by yourself, decide to go walk the floor while everyone is watching you on the cameras below. So on the second floor, Jasmine said to us, like, you're getting a lantern, you walk 2 flights of stairs, walk across the 3rd floor, through the other hospital doors, back down to the 2nd floor. Usually I'm like grabbing that lantern to go first. She's like, all right, who wants to go first? And I blanked out. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And all the girls in the group, like Alyssa, Ash, and Linda, looked at me and they're like, what? You're not going to do it? And I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to. Like, everything in me was like, don't go on the 3rd floor. Don't go on the 3rd floor. So anyway, I was about 4th. So Alyssa did the first round. She did come back down and she's like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's not talk about it till you go up and do it. So my turn come and I've got this lantern and I just remember walking, because it's hospital doors to go through each floor, both sides. I've opened the hospital doors to the 2nd floor to ascend the stairs. And I opened the door, and as soon as I opened the door, the lantern was like shaking. It was just pure fear. And I haven't had that in many, many years. So I get to the 3rd floor and you've got to open the hospital doors to walk through. So I've opened the hospital doors and I refused to look straight ahead. I was like, I don't know why I'm not looking straight ahead. So I walked in and there's doors as you're walking along, because it's accommodation. So you've got multiple doors on the hallway, and it felt like the hallway just kept stretching, like one of those horror movies that, just keeps going and going. And I got halfway and there's like I don't know if it's an old like fireplace or like a chimney or something, but I froze. I just froze, and everything in me was like, don't look up, don't look up. So I thought, well, I can't stand here forever. So as I've looked up, the hospital doors at the end, they open like out. I've looked up and there's a accommodation doorway to the left, and this, what I was trying to figure out in my head was it was a black mist come out of the doorway, stopped, and then in front of the hospital doors, it started to go up and form a shape. And I was like, no, this isn't happening. Like, I'm tired. Like, there's smoke coming on from outside. Maybe there's an old pipe that's created condensation. Like, my brain's now starting to go, we've got to figure this out. Why is this happening? So as this shape's forming, my legs were stuck like glue and I wanted to run. And I don't run. I'm just like, listen, I'm getting too old for this and I don't have the physique to be Usain Bolt out of this location, right? So I'm standing there and I'm watching this form, and it formed to the perfect shape of like a 6 foot high shadow person. And I was just like, oh no, I had to physically walk through that to get back to the second floor. And I was very lucky because I started to say a few choice words that I'm not going to say here because I literally was starting to pack it. And I was very lucky because Alyssa from our group was on the other side and she heard everything that was going on. So she's swung open the hospital doors. As she did, it was like, poof, it went and it just disappeared. She's linked arms with me and she's like, you've got to go forward. That's the only choice you've got right now. We're going forward. She goes, I know what you saw because I saw it. She goes, but I wasn't going to tell you because you were already in a state of mind before coming up. So she linked arms with me, and as we're walking, this thing's formed again in front of the door. She literally grabbed it, pushed it. I watched it go into the other room, and we walked downstairs. When I got to the second floor, I was just in a state. I'm like, that floor needs a PDA. Like, you need to sign a warning statement to go up there. And I actually had to get taken out of the building because I was shaking, like I was beside myself. And once I got out of the building, I was fine. It's like nothing happened. And the girls in the group were like, what in the world happened? Like, you're the person who will just run at things because you're like, I need to get a photo, I need a video, I need this. They're like, you just literally froze. We've never seen you freeze. We've never seen you lose color. Like, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it. But when we went back in, and we went to the second floor, people actually said to me, what you had seen up there, we watched form on the camera. So they actually saw it forming as I'm seeing it forming upstairs. Yeah. And it blew my mind because for me, I'm trying to rationalize and debunk something that's going on. And then I didn't say to them, this is what I saw. They turned around and said to me, are you okay? Because this is what we saw on the floor. And then I confirmed once they had told me what they saw, and we saw the exact same thing at the exact same time. And the only problem is that camera, while everyone was talking about it while it was going on, no one thought to record it. So now it is an experience that I can only like confirm with other people who've seen it. But that, hands down, I say, has been my most fearful experience I've experienced within the past 10 years. So I can't give answers to people why it happened. It's just that floor is known for an entity that is quite dark in nature. I don't like to say demonic, but he's not nice. He's very malevolent. He will make you feel like you're the size of an ant, because that's how I felt. I felt like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. Like, I went to like this size, like a little pea. So yeah, but in saying that, it's something we want to go back to. Will all of us go back in that building? Probably not. Am I the crazy one who's going to? Probably. So yeah, that's definitely my most one that made me go, oh yeah. And it left me having nightmares for about 2 weeks after. And I had to sage myself and do some blessings to get rid of it because it lingered, like it just affected me. So, yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I'm kind of like you. I like running towards stuff. So when something like that does happen, I guess it just kind of pisses you off. It makes it a challenge. Like you want to go back there. Like we have a place up in Ohio that we've had stuff happen, and like I just want to go back. I don't know if it's calling me back or like it's to the point where like maybe I just want to go down to this place do a solo. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's probably gonna be stupid of me to do this, but I might do it. I'm like, everybody's like, no, that's stupid because there's been known groups that go in there that will never step foot in there again.
Wow. Yeah.
They're
Okay.
like,
That's the same as this place. Yeah.
yeah, but like you, like challenge accepted, right? I mean, it's time
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. Exactly. But like, I went and did the floor again by myself that same night because I'm like, no, like you're not going to have one over me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much I wanted to challenge it. I just wanted to take my own power back. So like I was like, no, I'm doing this. And I did do it and I was fine. But mind you, the legs were shaking, the knees were knocking. But I still went and did it. But yeah, I agree with you. It's like a pull, but when I'm getting pulled to, I don't know about yourself, but when I'm getting pulled to a location, I'm also very precautious why that pull is happening. So I go in with my guards up and the group get their guards up and be like, all right, we've got to kind of protect ourselves because why is this pull happening? Why is this incessant need to go back occurring? So we're very precautious at times like that.
Yeah, I don't think you're challenging the entity, you're challenging yourself. Like,
yeah,
it's just, personal competition, I guess. Like, you're not going to beat me. Like, I'm still going to go do this. You want to make sure you're, was Aaron asked, has there been time maybe you shouldn't be doing this? And I'm assuming that would be your most fearful time. But did you ever question yourself? Like, why am I doing this?
Like at the time or just in general?
In general.
In general. Look, there has been times that, and that's just I'd say a human reaction. Like you think, why am I doing this? Like why am I putting myself in this predicament? Why am I putting myself in these situations? And that human, need to know about the unknown kicks in. But then as well, like I've been around this since I was a baby. Like I never got the option to just tap out and be like, oh, I don't want to see that. Like my mum was obsessed. And when I mean obsessed, like obsessed with old Victorian houses, old convict built houses. I grew up in haunted homes. And I'd be having a conversation to Gladys, but Gladys is not living in our house as a living person. And my mum was very open with it and being like, look, we live in an old home. People will talk to you, my family, like my great-grandmother used to read tea leaves and was a very, very intuitive woman. So I never really got to tap out at a young age. And as I got older, and I think like every human, we're like, well, what's on the other side of the veil? Like, why did I see this as a kid? Or why am I experiencing these things? And I've lived in haunted homes my whole life, even my house now. But it has come up. It has come up where I'm like, do you know what? I think I'm done. And then something will happen or something will pique my interest. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not done. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I've got a little bit more in me. And I just realized this is something that I love. It's my passion. It's what drives me. And I love that NSP isn't just for us. We always say we are doing it, but we're taking you on the journey because we want people to interact with us. We want people to share their stories in a safe place where they're not going to get judged. And there is still a lot of judgment around people interacting with spirits, oh, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. So people reach out to us and we genuinely care and we genuinely want to speak to people. And if I shut NSP down and I was like, I'm done with it, I'm taking away other people's safe places as well. So with the passion and the love we have for what we do, and we love spending time together. We're all friends in the group. I would take that away from all of us, and I'm just not willing to do that, especially when it's something that's ingrained in me. Like, I love doing it and I love sharing it. But yeah, there's been times, and there is one place that I will never ever go back to. It's only one place, one cemetery, and I will never go back there. And and I've made that my rule. Like, no, it's not happening. So there is times where I do check out of places, but checking out altogether, not an option.
And I mean, just for everybody out there, checking out a place is not taking up the challenge or quitting. It's just, you got to follow your instincts, your body. Like, it ain't worth it. That's
it. And it's not because of the dead that are there. It's the living.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the living caused a lot of problems, and it became too dangerous. And I just went, well, I'm not putting myself or my team in that predicament. So we just, like our saying is, we're more afraid of the living than we are of the dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just won't do it. And that's the thing. And I think sometimes I hear people call people sooks or wussy, or, you're a baby, you won't go in there. But you got to realize, like, if someone goes into somewhere and they have a reaction and it's not good for them, or it's good for their soul or their physical or mental well-being, why force them to do it?
Yeah.
So we're like, no, we come up as a team and say, no, we will not go back to that cemetery. We never disclose that location of that cemetery either, because it has been desecrated and it is still used. So we don't disclose that location for the safety and the well-being of other people, and hopefully for the souls to get some peace. But yeah, it's not good. So we just won't go back.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of investigations we went on, and I just get a feeling in there. I just said no one's doing solos tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge solo person. I try to push everybody to do solos because I believe it's big in the paranormal field. But there's one location, and I'm like, yeah, just no one's doing solos tonight. Like, I just don't feel comfortable sending someone. Like, well, I go do it probably, but I just don't. When you're running a team, it's their safety, and you're responsible for them. So,
yeah,
I mean, there are instances. I mean, we have to go with our gut feeling. That's what the paranormal is, when you're investigating. What do we got here? Man, he jumped on the bucket list already. Do you have a bucket list place that you one? I'll give you two. You can pick two.
Okay, two.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. So my bucket list, because if you ask the girls in the group, everyone has a different bucket list, right? So I've recently ticked off two of my bucket lists, which was Beechworth and Arrowdale Asylum. Okay. So now I've got to create another bucket list. But Waverley Hills is on mine. I know, like, people talk about it, oh, it's been done so many times and da-da-da-da-da, but it's always intrigued me since I was a kid. And the second one would be the Hellfire Club in England.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely Hellfire Club.
Yeah,
I've never been to Waverly. It's like 2.5 hours south of me.
Yeah.
So that's how I list this year, is to do that. So.
And if you do, we will be watching, because I watch everything to do with it. I love it. But they're like our overseas. Like, for me, they're two places I would love to get in. There's other places in America, and like, we do not have enough time for me to go through my bucket list of America, because you guys are huge and you got so much that I'm just like, take me everywhere. Just let me live over there for like 4 years, and I want to do it all. But each of the girls have different places. Like, there's also Leap Castle in England, or Leap, depends how you want to say it. The Edinburgh Tunnels in Scotland, Big Ben, the tower in England. Yeah, I know, right? I'm just like, okay, guys, cool. Then, like, I recently come back from Singapore, and I was telling the group about our old Changi hospital, and they're like, we got to go. And I'm like, okay. So like, things come up, we find out about different countries, and everyone's like, oh, let's go. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, we'll just go to the money tree out the backyard.
Yeah.
So
Pick some up. That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, exactly. But all 4 of us had on our bucket list for Australia Beechworth and Narradale. So we got to do that, and we were so happy. And if we're talking about Australia's bucket list, like that's overseas, Australia's bucket list is to do Port Arthur in Tasmania. That is definitely on the bucket list, and Willow Court Asylum in Tasmania, which we are fingers crossed, hoping above all hope that we get to do this year. I've just got to have a chat and work some logistics out of who's available when, and timing is perfection. So they're our bucket list, hopefully, to get done this year.
Trying to read everybody's comments here. So we got the bucket list. No, Lee Castle is like always one of my top ones I wanted to do, but I guess I have a problem. Not a problem. I love dark basements.
Yeah.
Like for some reason they creep me out. So like Hellfire tunnels, anything that's like I've always wanted to do the catacombs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I always tell people I hate flashlights too, but give me a flashlight and a recorder, I'll go to the catacombs. Just lock me down there.
Yeah.
I'll probably crap myself, but lock me down there.
Just don't get lost. A lot of people get lost in that place. Hey.
Yeah. Aaron want to know when you guys are starting tours.
Oh, look, that is the hot topic at the moment. The very hot topic. We are hoping to get some tours happening this year. I have to obviously have chats with the locations owners, because we don't just have owners over here. We have like committees and board members and volunteers who run said locations. So it's about reaching out and saying, hey, do you mind if we do this? So there will be some release this year. I'll be releasing them. I'll launch it on our social media and things, and also on our website. So I've just got to have a few more conversations, because as we are having holidays, so are these locations. So I probably won't be able to get anything out till maybe late January or February at this stage, because it just depends when they all come back. Some people are back late Jan, some are not till February. But keep an eye out on the socials. As soon as we organise, it will be on there.
All right. Another person asked, equipment wise, like what's your go-to equipment?
For me, give me a K2, a torch, a cat ball, and a REM pod, and I am home. I do like the spirit box as well, but they're like my go-tos. But we've got like heaps. Like we've got like trip wires, we've got sensor cars, because I thought it would be hilarious to get the girls a Barbie car that's censored. So it's literally this little Jeep of a Barbie, and like if the spirit goes to grab it, it's obviously got the sensor and it moves. So I thought that was funny. We've got a doll's head as a REM pod that I named Frankie, that the girls hate, which actually got broken on one of our investigations. Like literally the spirit went up, just grabbed it and cracked the head off the plate. So I was like, okay, that's great. Need to fix that. But I always tell everyone, if like your digital, your voice recorders, that is always in everyone. All 4 of us, or all five of us, have one of these in our pockets. A K2, because like I like to know if there's electrical around, is that interfering with what I'm getting?
Yeah.
So K2 cat ball, but on a stand, because if it moves, I want to know it's been pushed off said stand and thrown. But you don't need to be paying thousands, and yourself. You're your biggest asset on an investigation. If something doesn't feel right, go with it. If something feels right, if it's telling you to go, you're getting pulled into a location or pulled into a room, or, you want to lay on a morgue table, which I always do, do it. Follow your own gut, because you're your biggest instrument. So we rely a lot on our intuition. But we do have all, the bells and whistles that everyone has. But hey, you can't have enough of it, right? And I have told my partner this. Just, I need this. She's like, no, is it a need or is it a want? And I'm like, no, it's a need.
I talk about going with your instincts. Have you ever you felt like a spirit like steer you the wrong way to like get you away from them?
Yeah. Aradale. I'm a very calm person. As you can tell, I like to have a joke and a laugh. But I got to the gates of Aradale and I was just so angry. Like I was PO'd more than you could ever imagine. And I was shaking with anger. And we had to go to this hexagon building where they ran art therapy in Aradale. And as the tour guide is explaining, I've just walked off. I'm like, see ya, I've checked out. That conversation's done. So I've walked off to the other side of the building and everyone's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just need to be here. Like here. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me. And the group was like, that's not her. And then, like I snapped out of it 30 minutes later and all it took was Ash in the group coming over, putting a hand on my shoulder and going, T, this isn't you, what's wrong? And I snapped out of it. But literally it was like I was being led by not my emotions, like someone's anger. It was just like, oh, I don't want to be here. I want to be here. And it also happened in old Parramatta Jail, that I went on a tour with Appy. And Appy are another paranormal group based in New South Wales. And we were going through the old hospital ward. But instead of me going through the hospital ward, I walked around the outside of the building and met them at the other end. And they're like, weren't you behind us? And I'm like, yeah, I thought so. But like, I thought you took me here. So I thought I heard someone go, come this way. So I've gone, oh, okay. And I've turned around and out the hospital door and went around the building. So like, that's tripped me out. Like a few times that's happened. And I'm like, oh, but, or you get like a mimic who's like, oh, come, like without talking, they're like, and it looks like your tour guide. So you're like, oh, okay, we've got to go this way. And you start following this person, but your guide's over that way. So you're like, what, hey, what's going on here? So has happened.
I mean, that's tricky because is it a good spirit trying to steer you away from a bad spirit? Like you shouldn't go in there, so come this way. Or is it a bad spirit telling you, follow me, I got something for you?
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like, luckily, all the times I've experienced being told get away from, like, or come this way, it's been relatively good. Because Parramatta Jail is where I heard my first growl ever, and it was in my face, and it was so hot and stunk. Oh, it smelled rotten egg. It was horrendous. But I heard a growl in front of my face, and then the next time where I got told, don't go through here, go this way, was the same place I got growl. So it must have, I'm putting it down to someone going, let's not and say we did. So
yeah. I mean, some people, when someone asks, is equipment expensive? It can be. I mean, I'm sure it's just as expensive over there as here. But like you said, a recorder, a K2 meter, and yourself. I mean, that's all you need.
Yeah. People like when you're looking at paranormal groups, we are buying that because we're recording evidence and we're trying to provide that evidence to people. But if you're just looking to get out there with a couple of friends, like we said, EVP recorder in Australia, this was like $60 from Officeworks. It's the best one I've used. Cat balls you can get off eBay or Temu, 5 for like $12, and a K2 you can get off like Temu or eBay for like $19. And if you can't afford a $60 EVP, use your phone. Your phone's got a voice recorder.
Do you know what's odd lately is I'm getting decent EVPs off my video camera.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I mean I always have my recorder going, but my handheld video camera that I set up the last like few months. Like the EVPs coming off that's been ridiculous.
Yeah, I think because
I'm talking ridiculous, like one every hour. I mean, that's a lot, but
yeah. Well, what's funny is the weirdest EVP I'd say I've ever got off a piece of equipment was our the hunting I've gone blank. The hunting cameras, the ones you strap to trees. We have them set up as well as GoPros and just video cameras. We've got them set up so that if it gets triggered, there's a photo. And I've actually got like an EVP on that where it's triggered and it started recording a video and you can clearly hear like spirit talking in it over us talking. And I was like, I've never had that on these ever. And that happened at the School of Arts that we investigate regularly. We've investigated that twice a year. So that's really cool. But I've heard it happening a lot. Like you're not the first person who said like our video recorder is picking or our video camera is picking up a lot more than our digital voice recorder. I think it's just placement too.
I mean, one of our that we had one podcast, someone was talking about different dimensions, different frequencies that they can like megahertz that different spirits can talk to because of different dimensions. Maybe my video camera is a different, megahertz than something else or whatever they call it. I'm not a scientist or into all that stuff, but it could be a different frequency. And maybe that's why it's picking it up. And maybe the spirits are realizing that not everybody has a recorder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea.
Who knows why they do what they do? Do you know what I mean? And if you ask them, sometimes they will give you a very abrupt answer, especially in Australia. You can imagine the words that do come out that you can't share on the internet. But yeah, like they're not on our paycheck. Do you know what I mean? We can go into a location and think this looks so haunted, and then you get nothing, and you're like, what happened here? And you're like, well, they're not on a paycheck. Like you can't just be like, are you there? And if they don't want to talk, they're not going to talk. Like that's what I say to everyone. We're not a circus. We can't get them to perform. They're not on our paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, what's weird sometimes though, you go to those places, you get nothing, no feelings, no nothing, but then you go back and review the evidence and you get your recorder out and like, dude, this place is haunted. They were talking, we just couldn't hear it.
Yeah, that's it. Or like you're asking them questions. The funniest time I've ever had is I was asking questions like at one of our locations, and this was an old council chamber, and I'm just like asking questions. I'm firing them off, and then I just get, ugh. And I'm like, I heard the ugh, and I was like, shut up. And I was like, okay then. Duly noted. So we tried a different experiment instead. But it's just I find humor in it as well because like they're not afraid to let you know how they're feeling sometimes, and it cracks me up.
What do we have? Aaron asks, have you ever been followed home or felt an entity in your own home?
I do have entities in my own home that didn't follow me. We brought a home that was built in the early 80s, was it? 60s. Just had to check with my partner because I didn't pay attention to that. So built in the early 60s, and we renovated this home from top to bottom. Basically, it could have been a tear down and rebuild. But anyway, after renovating, I started to notice someone sort of flicking around the rooms, and I just ignored it because I'm like, whatever. I'm so used to it from a kid, whatever. And for some reason, we've called him Harry, and he's just mischievous. Like he'll turn my fan on, he'll turn a light on. He even turns my PlayStation on. He knows my daily routine. So like, and my mum passed away a week before I turned 40 last year in June. And she's definitely around. So it's something I've lived with my whole life, and, whatever. They're there. As long as they're not nasty or want to cause harm to anyone, I'm just like, well, you do you, boo. Like, I'm not going to kick you out, you know.
Yeah.
Have I brought anything home from an investigation? Not in a long time, because we have, so when we finish an investigation, whether it is we're going on someone else's tour, we're doing our own tour, we're doing a private house, or we're going just out to locations to find, you know, going to a convict-built bridge, whatever. When we are finished, we actually close it down. So we have a close down procedure that we do now. But I have stupidly, and I will admit, I make mistakes. I'm human. I went to a location that was quite haunted. It was an old courthouse, and I did not do my closing down. So I usually say a spill, you know, like, you won't follow me home, communication severed, I'd like to thank my ancestors, blah, blah. It's this whole big thing. I didn't do it that night, and I brought something home that when I would leave the house and my partner would be home by herself, would call out to my partner and be like, hey, babe. And she'd call me and be like, you home? And I'm like, no. I'm, you know, an hour and a half away from our house. And she's like, you called my name and our dogs reacted thinking you were home. They started barking and running to the back door. So I have brought something home. I had to get rid of it because I was the one who brought it in. I'm the one to get it out. But I haven't in a long time. But accidents happen. You're human error. But I'm very precautious now. So, you know, I open up and I close. So it's something that is part of NSP now that we must do at the end of any kind of investigation.
Well, I personally have a lot of questions, but people are slamming this comments here, so just fine. Like, you and your team are come on again, I guess. So
yeah, for sure. I know the girls would love it
because I have a lot of questions here. So no, this is fine. This is what's for people to ask questions.
Well, that's it.
This must be Australian people, because Americans don't ask questions that much. So
you got to love the Aussies. We're inquisitive. We're inquisitive people.
Have you ever felt a presence that wasn't a ghost?
Are we talking like cryptid, or are we talking demonic? Because that's something with the demonic stuff. Myself and my team always don't go to demonic.
I know, but have you ever felt that you believe that was demonic? Let's go that way.
Yeah,
that's a big topic over here too. So
yeah, exactly. Yes, in shortness, yes, I have. And the main thing is because the smell is, it's like rotting flesh or a rotting carcass with egg, like rotten egg, and it's like I've had it breathe in my face, and I'm like, that is not a spirit. Like, usually spirits, like, they'll touch and it's, you know, they're just inquisitive, they just want to interact. But when it, like, I was like, that's dark. Like, and that's not all the time. I want to put that out there, because I'm very quick to rule out demonic activity. If you're a horrible person in life, that transfers to death. It's no different, right? So if you're not nice, it's not going to change. So I think a few people get confused with that. But where it's growling in your face and you can smell like death at its worst, yeah, I've had that. And I think, honestly, in doing it for how many years I've doing it, it's happened to me twice that I can be like that, or 2 or 3 times that I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not a spirit, that's something else.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean it's demonic. It's just a non-human entity, I guess you want to call it too. I mean, it could be demonic, but I think people throw that word demonic around way too much around paranormal world.
Yeah. I agree.
We'll keep popping this out. Sharpie, advice for someone that has never experienced a paranormal encounter.
Keep an open mind. That is my advice. Keep an open mind. Don't shut it off. Be respectful is the biggest thing, because I promise you, if you're disrespectful, if you go to investigation, you disrespect that spirit, you're going to get 2 options. They're either going to be really cranky at you and God knows what the outcome's going to be there. Or they're just going to be like, well, why would I want to talk to you? You're making a joke of this. This was my life. So be patient, be respectful, and keep an open mind.
Yeah, I mean, people got to remember too that spirits were humans too, and 90, I don't want to say 90, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but majority were respectful people. Nice. So they just want to be heard also. So don't get freaked out if something taps you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
No one's there. I mean, just say, what's up?
That's the best part of it, when you get a tap on the shoulder and you turn around and you think it's your team. No one's there, and you're like, well, just got tapped on the shoulder.
All right. Have you ever done a Ouija board?
No.
Why?
No. I've experienced Ouija boards. They're not for us. Our group don't use them. Do we put others down for using them? Hell no. No, go for it. If you want to, and that's part of your investigating technique, please do. We don't. Number one, we don't know enough about them to use them safely. Okay.
All right.
For us, it is a divination tool. It needs to be treated with respect and an understanding. We don't understand it. Therefore, we can't respect something we don't understand straight away, like a piece of equipment. So we don't use them for that. A lot of places that we investigate, they do not want it there. They will say, if you bring a Ouija board in, you will never be welcome back. So I'm like, okay, no Ouija board. I have experienced them on other locations and other tours, and hey, I'm all for it. If people know what they're doing and they're using it, go for gold. But I've also seen it go very bad very quick, and I'm just like, oh, I don't think I want to watch this, whatever's going on. So each to their own, though. It's like any piece of equipment. You're still communicating with the dead. Every piece of equipment we use is opening a line of communication. So it's personal choice as well, and we just choose not to use them.
Yeah, over here, there's a lot of places that used to say no Ouija boards, no seances, whatever. Then, I don't know, it seems like the last 6 months, they're like, we don't care, do whatever you want. And it's, to me, a Ouija board is a piece of cardboard. I mean, I used one the other day, and I never use them because I just don't think there's too much human influence into it when people are touching it. So I'm just kind of like, whatever. But again, like, you have to know how to use it. You have to know how to open it, and you have to close it. I mean, that's what people always say. So,
well, that's it. And if you don't close it, then it can create a whole world of things. But like I said, each to their own. Do you know what I mean? You can't tell someone not to use it because you don't use it. Like, no. But I've also seen it used and used well. But just I'm with you. I'm just like, no, it's not up our alley. It's not something we would like to do. So we just don't do it.
Well, yeah, I didn't ask this before, and that's usually my first question. How did you come together as a team?
It's actually a really funny story, kind of. So individually, we've all of us have grown up in haunted homes. So from children, we've always been around, spirits and entities, and our family, our mums, our nans have always delved into the paranormal. We formed in 2024. We formed last year. So in terms of the paranormal team, we're a little like a baby in the Australian world. But we've been doing it for 10, 15 plus years individually. We formed, so Linda and myself are best friends, and we've been best friends for 20 years. My partner just got roped into it because she is my partner, and she's like, well, if I'm going to know about it, I may as well just get into it. But she's more on the background, like the back end, like the camera. She does the camera in our lives on our socials for us, and is more like, I'm not going to Arradale Beach or Beechworth. I draw a line at asylums and hospitals. You're done. Like, I'll do the nice ones. She says to me all the time, I'll do the nice. Then Ash and Alyssa, I actually met them because we both at the same time booked a overnight stay at old Wellington Hospital, which was once a hospital used out in Wellington, New South Wales, and they booked a tour there, and we all stayed there overnight and did our investigations, experiments with Appy. And I just got chatting to them, and I was like, these people are really great. This was like in 2023. I'm like, these people are amazing. Like, where have they been? It was like a carbon copy. And look, Alyssa in our group, I like to call her my little pit bull, because she's just like, move, I've got us. Like, you know, she's 5'5". She just has this attitude about her, like, no, I'm going, so I'm doing it. And love them all to death. Ash is the mum of the group, like literally the mum of group. She's like, all right, guys, like, you know, let's, you know, calm it down. Let's do this. Linda's our one who never experiences anything. We call her our grounder. So if anything's going down and it's hectic, we all just grab Lou and we recenter. She's like our little zen. And then me, I'm just a cruisy one. I'm just like, yeah, all right, guys, yeah, no worries. So yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. But yeah, so we all formed in different ways. And then Alyssa and Ash I kept in contact with on Facebook and didn't think anything of it. And then just one day I was like, hey, you want to do an investigation? They're like, yeah, no worries. And we started just forming, and NSP started well before them. But then eventually I was like, oh my God, I need these people here. Like, they have the same values, same morals, the same outlook at the paranormal as I do, with their own opinions in it as well. And my best mate, Lulu, well, I call her Lulu, Linda. I rang her one day and I said, mate, we've been mates for 20 years. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want to like jump on NSP's board? Like, I've taken you to some pretty gnarly places and I never thought to ask. And she's like, yeah, man, I'd love it. So now all 5 of us go away. We're based in New South Wales. We've been to Victoria, Queensland. Like, we're willing to go anywhere. Like, we're so excited about it. But we all come from very big different walks of life, different backgrounds, but together, like, we're a solid team. Like, I know my back is always being taken care of as much as I take care of the girls. So that's the biggest thing.
No, I mean, I think a lot of groups, not like that, but like they're puzzle pieces and they all fit together and make one puzzle. I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. But you need everybody can't be on the same page, you know, and because that doesn't work. So it's cool. Like, but you got drawn to the other two people. Just kind of like doing an investigation. You get drawn to something and it fits. So no, that's cool.
Yeah, that's it. And that was a perfect way of explaining it. It's the best puzzle piece that I've ever put together. And I love these girls. They're like my family. Like, before I come on here, I'm like, I'm nervous, I'm this, I'm that. And, you know, Linda's like, dude, you know, just calm down, it's going to be all right. And then you've got Ash, and she's like, mate, you're fine, you can talk underwater. And then you've got Alyssa, who's like, do I need to reach through the phone and punch you in the face to calm you down? So, like, you know, we're all different kinds of walks of life, and I love them to death.
It's a big topic here. I was just talking about this with some coworkers.
Yep.
Do you own a haunted object?
I'm like, not in my equipment, no, because my equipment within the cases, I've actually got protection crystals and little vials of protection in the cases. So I'm like, we're just getting rid of that as soon as you get in. Within my home, no, because my partner would absolutely murder me and then I would become a spirit in my own home. So I have in the past, yes. I've got an obsession, like, it's probably really weird, but like, I love knives and I love old knives and I like to put them in like locked containers, and so, you know, the world we live in, so no one can get them. And I went to an antique shop and I brought one, and I was just so it was a little pen knife, you know, the little flick out knives that you used to open your envelopes with, the ladies would open their envelopes. So it was about that big. It was a mother of pearl. I brought it out in the bush of Australia at a little antique shop. and I was obsessed with it. I thought it was the best thing in the world. But I brought it in the house and everything changed. My keys would go missing. The pen itself the box would unlock and unlatch. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll latch back up, move the keys away, and it come back the next day. The keys are open, the latch is up. And then my mate's like, dude, like, were you walking upstairs? And I'm like, oh, mate, I'm out at a mate's place. And she's like, no, someone's walking upstairs. I can hear someone in your room. I go, like, just go have a look at the knife box. She's like, the knife box open. So I was like, so eventually I got rid of said knife. I actually gave it to one of my mates, and she's like, give it here, I'll take it. So her house is full of them, full of haunted objects. So whenever anyone has anything, usually, and they're like, oh, this is haunted and I don't want it in my house, I'll take it. I'll give it to my friend. She binds it but keeps it in the house. So yeah, I've unfortunately once I have, but I've got an obsession with antiques as well. I love history. So I always buy antiques, and every time I bring an antique in the home, my partner Megan's like, are you sure there's nothing on that? And I'm like, no, it's good. It's an old cigarette container. And she's like, so yeah, no, not myself. I don't think any of the girls have a haunted object either, because same, like, they don't have anything in there. And we all cleanse our houses constantly. So we're like, no, thank you, to the window, to the wall, get out my house. But yeah, I do have a few friends who have an obsession. One of my friends, Anthony and Mon, actually got a replica of the Annabelle doll. And that Annabelle doll's not allowed in the house anymore. It remains in Anthony's office. So that's an interesting discussion when we bring up the Annabelle doll. But Mon quickly got rid of that out of the house.
Yeah, I mean, haunted dolls is huge over here. Like,
yeah, I've seen TikTok pages about haunted dolls, and like, look, I'm not a big fan of dolls, because I think, like, imagine them getting up in the middle of the night and their little legs like, me. Like, I'm like, no. Like, I'd use you as a football mate. I'd kick you across the room. But I do see a lot of people, there is a big push and a big obsession with haunted dolls. And I'm like, hey, power to you, but that thing ain't coming in my house.
No.
And what do you think that's from? Do you think that's from, like, Annabelle herself, like the hype around Annabelle and Robert? And
I love Robert, but I mean, I think Robert looks cool as hell. But I mean, no, I mean, I don't know the reason. People just get that feeling that they're haunted.
Yeah.
I had one girl on here that collects haunted dolls, and at first I was like, oh man, I don't know how this discussion is going to go, but she was cool as hell. So, but I asked her, like, how do you get a haunted doll? And it's like it's off Etsy. Like, people sell haunted dolls on Etsy, and you go through them and you get that feeling. Then you go back the next day, and if you get drawn to that doll, then that's how you buy it.
Wow.
But
okay.
why would you want to buy a haunted doll? I don't know. It's not for me. I mean,
yeah, no, not me either. But I tell you what, if I ever stumble across or someone hands me a haunted doll, I'll be like, 1 second, I'll just get in contact with Ryan, and I'll be like, Ryan, what do I do with this thing? What's that lady's address? Give me something here. But
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I probably throw some rounds in it. I'm not gonna lie. That thing started walking at me. It's going down. Okay, so that's not an object. All right. If you ever heard a noise and you're alone, what is your first thought?
Let's debunk this. That's my first thought that goes through my head.
Yeah.
If I hear a tapping, I hear a door slam, I hear some creaking or moaning, I'm like, okay, is the building settling? If it's a wooden building, you've got to take into effect the windows, the walls, the floors, they will all crack and creak as they settle. Because if it's hot during the day, the wood expands, and at night it subtracts because it's cold. So I'm currently going through my head trying to debunk it. It's only when I've ruled out absolutely everything that I'm like, that's different. Maybe that is something. And then I put that in the memory bank, or I'll write it down or mark it up in case our videos capture it or our digital voice recorder captures it. But I always try and debunk first before jumping to paranormal. But yeah, when there's like someone like shouts in your face or like a growl or something, you're like, well, how do I debunk that when it's here?
Yeah.
So, you know, your brain's still trying to, like, well, mine does anyway. Like, I always try. Like I said, skeptical believer. I don't believe it until I know it happens, or I can see it happen, or I've tried to reason out everything and there's no reason to it. So I always straight away debunk first and then try and validate later.
Okay, let's say you scratched everything off the list. It's paranormal. Then what do you do?
Then I'm looking for evidence. So if I've gone, okay, that's paranormal, I want to see, did my digital voice recorder pick it up? Did one of my GoPros pick it up? Did one of my trail cameras pick it up? Did the video camera pick it up? Did anyone else hear that? Can I verify if someone comes to me and goes, did you hear that? And I'd be like, well, what did you hear? Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to collect the evidence behind that without just going, yeah, that's paranormal. Like, I like to know there's evidence behind it. And a classic example is where were we? We were at Canamble. Okay. Canamble has the Bucking Bull. It's a mad pub built in the 1800s. So there were two suspicious deaths there, built in the 1800s. Second floor was built in 1924. So Alyssa had come downstairs and we left something upstairs. So she's gone upstairs and she thought she heard me yell out to her, not realizing I was downstairs. She's like, yeah, mate. Nothing. No response. And she's come downstairs and I've popped my head around the corner and I'm made a jump back. She's like, what are you doing down here? And I'm like, I thought you were calling me, so I've come to find you. And she's like, yeah, I was calling you up there. And I'm like, no, I heard you down here. And she's like, what? How? And I'm like, let's just put that down to we don't know what happened there. But also at Wellington, when we were there, I thought I heard someone scream. So I've just gone thinking it was someone else on the tour. I'm looking around and everyone bum rushed in and said, oh my God. And everyone's like, what? And they're like, did you hear that scream? And everyone heard it at the same time when it happened, and it was caught on someone's digital voice recorder, not mine. I wasn't carrying one that night. So that was quite predominant. But yeah, I try and find the evidence behind it as well, just to back me up.
Okay, what's the most famous place you've been to?
Oh.
It's a loaded question, but
yeah, I think the most famous place that people would probably know would be. It's hard because in each state, you know, it's different over here. I'd say possibly people would know about Q Station or the quarantine station in Sydney. Is what a lot of people do know, because obviously Sydney Harbour, Sydney Bridge, like, you know, Opera House and Harbour Bridge. So people usually know about the quarantine station, or what as we know it as is Q Station. That would be the most famous, I'd say, that people would know of in Australia.
Man, the Callan. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Callan. She throw a lot of questions out here. So, what's the difference between a ghost and a demon in one of your experiences?
Difference between a ghost and a demon, a ghost is living, or not living, sorry. A ghost was a living person. A demon is not. It's just an entity that's never walked this earth, whereas a ghost has walked this earth. That's the easiest way to put it in basic terms without going right down a golden path, which let's not do today. And I've experienced both. But also I'm not quick to say anything's a demon or demonic. Am I quick to say that that's a bad spirit? What I mean by bad spirit is that person was not great in their living life. So when they've moved to the afterlife, they're malevolent, they're horrible, they might be deemed evil because they did evil acts while they were living. So but yeah, the easiest way to think of it is demons usually like an entity that's never walked the earth, and a ghost or a spirit was a living person, and that's the easiest way to put it. But then again, what I'm saying is what I believe. There's very many and very vast opinions about this topic across the paranormal field, and that's what I love. Like, I talk to people from around the world and different different investigators, and everyone's opinion is different. That's the joy about the field we're in. So many different opinions.
So let's talk about that real quick. So you have demonic and you have regular entities, used to be living human entities. I don't think I've ever ran into demonic. I've run into assholes.
Yeah.
Spirit. Okay. Yep. So, and there's a huge difference between those a-hole spirits and demonic. How fast do you think you can figure out the difference?
Look, like yourself, I don't just go, oh yeah, that's demonic. Do you know what I mean? I'm sussing it out. And sometimes it takes me the entire investigation to suss said demon out, which could be an hour, it could be 4 hours, it could be 6, because I'm already trying to work out and establish, are you just fronting this way? Are you just snarling and growling just to be an ass? Or are you definitely demonic? So it's like I said, I've experienced probably 2-3 times maximum in my life. The time I did experience it, it's weird to say, like, when you're around a spirit or a ghost, it's almost like you can, I feel like that you can connect. There's like a connection because there's that human element because they were a human at one stage. Whereas I feel like I can't, it's almost like a void when I've been around them. Like, I can't connect, I can't understand, I can't, I don't know what I'm experiencing, or like, there's language I can't understand. Like the mocking of the Holy Trinity is a huge one. Scratching in threes, knocking in threes, the breaths, the growls, just that the whole environment changes. But then again, I'm making sure that a spirit who was living, who was not nice, is not mimicking said things that demons do. And like I said, probably 2-3 times max in my life have I experienced it. And that's why a lot of us girls within the group are the same. We don't always jump to demon. Yeah. It's very rare. But it does, for us, it takes us longer probably than someone, like an exorcist in the Roman Catholic Church, because we're like, no, like, let's like push that to the side, but we're going to keep it in the back of our head, but we're trying to assess to see if it is or not. And do you know what? 95 or 99% of the time it isn't. It's just someone who is a horrible person who's still a horrible person in death.
I mean, it's weird because, like, you're talking like a regular person that's not paranormal. Jump scaring people is funny to people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So even a regular person who's going to get a scare out of their best friend, if figured out they could do it in the afterlife, why wouldn't they do it?
Oh, well, that's exactly right. That's why you've got to take the time to get to know, like, your surroundings, get to know who that person is, like, and it's good if you're on a tour as well. Listen to what your guide's saying, because they will explain a lot of things, and they might explain that situation to you. Like, I've always made it a rule, no one's to jump scare me, because, like, I come out fist flying, like, I hate being jump scared. But the funny thing is it's like the spirits know, like, especially in one of the locations we investigate, they know I hate being jump scared. So they will literally like jump scare me, and they'll literally grab, like they'll pinch my bum because I know it freaks me out. So I'll be walking and everything's fine, and then I'll feel a bunk and I'm like through the roof because it's silent. So they'll usually smack their foot on the ground and pinch my bum, and I'm up in air. So it's quite funny. I hate jump scares. So everyone out there, or like my group, or anyone decides to cark it and go to the other side, please don't jump scare me. Like I'm not good. I jump scare myself enough around mannequins. Like I hate mannequins on tours and investigations. Hate them.
I mean, I have 3 rules pretty much in my group. You don't jump scare. You don't fake evidence.
Yeah.
And no drama.
Yep.
You do any of those 3, it's one strike, you're out. I'm sorry. Like, that's just the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So do you believe pets and babies? No, wait, let's go. Do you believe pets can? Well, do you believe there are pets that are spirits? We'll start with that, then we'll go with the other one.
I do believe that. Alyssa in our group we actually hired an Airbnb for my 40th. And she actually saw a spirit of a lady walking through the house with her pet cat. She actually saw the cat and the tail, and she thought, oh, God, who's this person come in the house? And why is there a cat? Because Meg's highly allergic and T's highly allergic to cats. Like, why is there a cat in this house? So, like, I do believe that our pets are around us because they still have a soul. Do you know what I mean? Like, they still have a soul. Like, I hope my pets, when my 2 girls pass away, they're my 3rd children. I love them very deeply. But when they pass away, I hope they do come back around because they fill that void for you. Do you know what I mean? And if they are attached to a location or they're attached to you, there's no reason that would stop. So, like, I do believe, like, pets are in spirit. It's a lot of research has been done into it to show that it does happen. And people have caught it many times. Go on YouTube, look up ghost pets. They tend to be around.
Now, I'm a dog person. We've run into ghost cats. Seem like to be a big thing. I do have a cat. I love my cat, but I tell you what, ghost cats piss me off. Like, like if I see a ghost cat, I'm kicking it. Like, I don't care. I'm sorry. I am an animal lover. Sorry, but ghost cats, no, I don't. Because I looked up, like, I think it's the Chinese that have like ghost cats.
Yep.
And they're demonic. I mean, they're not good things. When you see ghost cats, it's not a good thing. So I'm kind of like, ghost cats, no, dude. No. You'll hear me on some of my videos when someone's like, I saw a cat. I'm like, F that cat. Like, oh, God.
No, you didn't. We're not bringing it up. No, you didn't say that. But that's the thing as well. Different cultures, different beliefs as well.
Yeah. Do you believe pets and babies can see? I'm trying to word this right. Are more sensitive to ghosts and spirits? Yeah.
You know why? Because they're pure. Babies don't have that filter like we do as adults, where they're like, we're told, like, and it depends if you're raised, in a religious family, you're taught is heaven and hell, and that's it. There's no limbo, there's no spirits, there's the Holy Spirit, that's it. Or, when you start to get older and you start to tell your parents, hey, like, I've seen, grandma standing at the end of my bed, they shut it down because they're fearful and they're like, I don't want to know that. Like, that didn't happen. You were just dreaming. Babies don't have that because they don't have that comprehension of understanding or right and wrong at such a young age. And same as pets. Pets are pure. Like, that's my belief. They're pure. They haven't had that stain of adults being like, oh, no, that didn't happen. It was just a dream. So, yeah, I do honestly believe they do see them. I've seen kids laughing at a corner and there's nothing in said corner, but they're cacking themselves. Like, my cousins used to do it when they were young, and I'd laugh because I'd be sitting there going, oh, I wonder who you're seeing then. Do you know what I mean? So, and I'd never stop them. And, like, when my family or friends kids talk to me about it, I'm just like, well, you tell me what you see. and then they'll tell me what they see, and I'm like, okay, and then they're like, okay, good chat, I'm going to play Lego now, and I'm like, okay, yeah, great chat, see you later. Like, just it's pure. They're not tainted.
Yeah. Oh, we're going right into skinwalkers. Do you know what skinwalker is?
Yes, we have them as well.
Okay.
Well, supposedly have them, but yes, okay, go for it. What's with the skinwalker question?
Do you believe in skinwalkers?
Yeah, I do. I've never experienced one over here, but we have had them. Or then here there's more of a culture, like a cultural Aboriginal belief around that. I've never experienced one in Australia that I can say 100%. That's a skinwalker. Am I obsessed with American skinwalkers? You betches. Like, like I'm just like, I need to know. Like, so especially like when us girls will get together, we sit and watch the paranormal till like 3 a.m. So this one morning, like this one night, we decided to go down the skinwalker rabbit hole. And let me just say, that rabbit hole extends quite vast through America. And especially with the Native Americans, like we were just so intrigued. And I was just like, oh my God, like, and the Appalachian Mountains, that's a whole story in itself. Like, I need to get to the Appalachians. But yeah, like the skinwalker and the experiences people have with them, I'm like I'd need an incontinence aid, I'd need a nappy if I experience something that someone has experienced. And like these people are like, police, Native American elders, like, people who are genuine, no nonsense, this is what it is. And like then you've got people who like living out on like, I don't know what you call them over there, like compounds, like heaps of housing together that experience different things. And they're like, you got to shut your door at night. You ignore the scratching on the wall. And then they'll be like, well, first you see a deer and then you see a wolf and then the wolf's turned into a bear and then the bear turns into a human. And I'm just like, wow, like so invested in it. But yeah, like, hey, I don't rule anything out. This world's huge. This universe is huge. Anything could go. But I believe in it, but I'd like to see it to believe it. Do you know what I mean? See it from the comfort of a window behind, a locked door.
Yeah, I mean, we have skinwalkers, Bigfoot, Dogman, Mothman. I mean, there's skunk ape. I mean, it's a whole bunch of stuff over here. So, like cryptid wise, what do you guys have over there?
We have the Yowie, so it's kind of like Bigfoot's cousin, hairy man, also known as the hairy man. We've got we've also, what they deemed as a myth, it actually was called the Tasmanian tiger. It's extinct, or they believe it's extinct now. Yeah. And that is, it looks like a dingo crossed tiger it's just this weird looking dog thing is the easiest way to explain it to people. But you can look it up. It's called Tasmanian tiger. And people do believe that they're still in existence. So we've also got them. So we've got the black cats, or the big cats of the mountains, where people believe that there's like panthers, like black panthers up in the mountains. And that has taken off a lot lately in regards to the cryptids and the cats and things like that. I am still busting to find a Yowie. I don't want to be face to face with said Yowie, but I would love to see one. But yeah, it's we don't have heaps and heaps and heaps of like, like mythical, but like if we're talking to First Nations mythical creatures, then I out of respect don't speak about First Nations. But Yowie we've grown up with our whole lives. But there are stories that the Aboriginal people do pass down through their story times and their storytelling about, different mythological creatures and things like that. So it's pretty wild. But the Yowie's our biggest thing, and the cats. Like everyone wants to see a black cat, me included. So
Yeah, you talked, was it Tasmanian tiger or whatever it is? I mean, they talked about, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I saw a show last year that someone caught one on a trail cam. It was a show, and they said that they're, might not be extinct. They might be coming back. So,
yeah, I think we've watched the same one. It was a documentary, and a guy went out with his like two guys who reckon that they've seen them and they've experienced them, and they put trail cameras up in the bush and on someone's property to try and capture them. Look, it would be amazing if they were still around, because an extinct animal's still around, but at the same time I would love for them to keep that on lock and key, because humans are the biggest desecrations of anything. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they extinct in the first place. So if they are real, let them be real, but let them be real somewhere where we don't need to explore to the world that, because they were hunted for their hide and, different purposes and things. And I'm just like, just leave them be. We don't need to know until they've got such big colonies of Tasmanian tigers. So a little bit of conspiracy theory behind that one, a little bit of chitter chatter, but I have watched many of documentaries about Tasmanian tiger, so who knows?
I mean, it would be cool if they're, like you said, though, like I had a group on that, investigates Bigfoot. I'm like, if they found a Bigfoot and had pure evidence, do you imagine every person out there with a gun now in the woods?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'd be ridiculous.
Well, that's it. What would happen? Would they hunt them down? But then I've also heard about Bigfoot, that they believe it is a mythical creature, that it has the power to the reason we can't find, or they can't find Bigfoot, is because he can cross like veils and timelines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's an interesting spin to think about it. But yeah, like I'm like, if there was a Bigfoot and there was actual hard proof, which, hey, some people have got like footprints and hair samples that they can't classify and things like that. But would we want these things to be found? Because then what would the repercussion of those things being found happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many theories out there, and that's a whole another podcast.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a whole nother storyline.
It's a whole other rabbit hole we can go down to. So
so many rabbit holes you can go down with the paranormal and supernatural and all the things involved.
As Appalachia a real place? Yes, Appalachian Mountains. A lot of stuff goes on there. So a lot of cryptids, a lot of everything. So
look that up on YouTube. That stuff's great. I love the Appalachians.
Yeah. Appalachia is pretty cool. What is your next location on your wish list?
Where are you guys going? Port Arthur and Willow Court in Tasmania. That's my wish list. Everyone knows. And probably Willow Court Asylum, which is an old mental asylum down in Tasmania. So Tasmania is the little tiny island for everyone over there at the bottom of Australia. Detached, but we still claim it. Okay, but it's the tiny little island. So that's the next bucket list. We all want, like everyone in the group wants to go Tasmania to do Willow Court, Dead Man's Island if we can, which is an island with just random graves on it from people from Port Arthur, because Port Arthur isn't just a tragedy that happened like 30-something years ago, where we did have someone go and do a mass, I don't know how to put it in internet terms, where there was mass loss of lives. It was a convict jail way before all that happened. So that's the next on the bucket list. Fingers crossed this year. Fingers crossed.
I mean, you just got to do it, right? That's the whole thing. Like, so many people have bucket lists, and you only live once. So
no, that's it. You never know when it's not going to be around, or something happens and someone buys something, and we're definitely going to get to it. It's just, again, working out the time when everyone's free, and just make sure we can get there. But it is going to happen, and I'm hoping I get heaps of photos and footage from that place. Yeah.
You'll definitely have to get some footage over there. So
yeah, I will.
What's the craziest thing to happen to you on an investigation? We covered that. So, Ashley, you're going to have to watch the show later. Trying to think what else. I don't know much. We are hour 34 minutes into this. So,
Jeez, really? I didn't even know. I'm just having a yarn.
Yeah. So let's talk about why you got into the paranormal, because I have my theories that have been not changing lately, but realizing of why I got into the paranormal. So we're going to cover that and we'll call it.
Well, when I first got into it, because I'm the same, my views in it have changed as of last year. I first got into it out of complete and utter just wanting to know what was there, what was on the other side. Why am I seeing these things as a kid? What was the stories behind this? And just inquisitiveness. Like, I was so inquisitive, and I genuinely am an inquisitive person. Like, I like to ask the why, who, what, how questions. So I started getting into it because I had a few friends who were like, hey, you know, have you ever gone on a ghost hunt? Because they heard about me growing up in haunted homes and my family with the little gifts they had. And so I started just going on investigations, and then that bug hit, and I'm like, I need to do this. And then it's just recently changed, I'd say past 6 months, 7 months. After I lost my mum, it became more not such an inquisitiveness. It was more like, so I don't want to know about heaven and hell. That doesn't interest me. Like, I don't ever ask about God or hell or nothing like that. But it was just like, I've done this for so long, and now I've lost someone so close to me. What does this look like from across the veil? How do they communicate? So I want to know why they use static to communicate. I want to know why they're using like EMF fields or electromagnetic frequencies to communicate with us. How do they manipulate that? Like, it's gone to a who, what, how, why, more than inquisitiveness. And just kind of seeing what lays beyond the veil that is acceptable for me to try and find out about. So yeah, it's just it's weird. And now because I've done it for so long, and that passion is so ingrained in me, like, I'm like, I love it. I love being screamed at. I love being told to F off by spirits. Like, you know, that's a great Saturday for me. You know what I mean? And I think also you got to remember, like, as investigators, we still have our 9 to 5 jobs during the week. When we go out on a Friday or a Saturday or Sunday, or whenever you go out to do an investigation, it's our way to decompress. And I know some people are like, well, that's a very odd way to decompress. But we get to go do something we're passionate about and we love. And then our brain resets and we're like, okay, and we're off again. And that's a big thing for us as well. Like, communicating with something other than living people and trying to get answers, it's great. It's a passion. It's a love. And it also allows us to spend time with our friends that we don't get to see every day. So it's a few different things for me. It's just, I think now, because the inquisitiveness has led to wanting answers, and because I'm so passionate about it, you know, it's not I want to do it. I need to do it now. So that's my answer in a nutshell. I just need to do it because it's a passion.
I mean, you kind of hit it though. Like, we work 9 to 5 jobs, and if you're just going to sit at home, what are you going to be doing? Thinking about your job. So to go out with friends, see historical places, and just have a good time. I mean, it's no different than people going to the bar or the pub, you know, and having a good time. So you might as well just go reset yourself somewhere else where what you enjoy. So to get out and have a good time. So I'll make this quick because I'm going to do a podcast on this probably solo one time. Is, you know, everybody has the same answer about why they do this. They want to know about the unknown. What is out there after we die or pass on, however you want to say it. And lately it's been like, what's the one thing that lives on when we die? The memories, right? I mean, that's all we have left. I mean, your mom passed, my mom passed a few years ago. All we have left is the memories. So I want to make sure that their memories are continued when I go do these investigations. That's my main goal when I investigate, is make sure they're not forgotten, the spirits. So it's not about me knowing what's on the other side. I just want to make sure the spirits' memories live on. And hopefully someone does that to me too. And trust me, my friends won't forget, because I will haunt them to the end. So
That's what I say to my girls too.
have you ever been scared of any ghosts or spirits?
Yeah, I think that's normal for everyone to you get scared. It's just a human reaction. You're in a dark, dingy place. You feel a hand. You're looking for your teammate, and that's not a teammate's hand. Or, it happens. It's normal to get scared. It's a normal human reaction. Anyone who's like, "Oh, I've never been scared," I'm like, "Well, that's great. Do you want a gold star?" Because, like, I have been, and I'm happy to tell people I'm scared, and I'm happy to show people I'm scared, because I want them to see, like, I am a human being, like, I'm not a robot. Even though we've done it for, like, all of us done it for hundreds, well, not hundreds of years, because then we've been on the other side, but, like, because collectively we've done it for years and years, like, there's still going to be places that trip you up, and or a spirit that gets you and you're like, oh, and you're freaking out. But it's not all the time, but yeah, it's normal. It's normal for it to happen.
All right, non-paranormal question. What do you do to chill if you aren't investigating?
I'm a mad gamer. I am a COD gamer, Call of Duty, PS5. Yep. I have I have mates I've gamed with for like 14 years. So I also read to decompress. I read a lot of books, usually true crime, paranormal, like, let's be honest here. But I also like spending time going for drives. Like, me and my partner and my dogs, we get in and we just go for a drive just to decompress away from the paranormal. But also go out and do normal stuff, like go hang out with mates at the pub and, have a feed and have a beer, a brew every now and then. But yeah, just normal things. But yeah, like, gaming is like my second love. Like,
that's what I'm doing after this. So
yeah, exactly same.
New DMZ is supposed to come out this year, so
yeah.
I'm
And have you
excited
seen
about
the new map? That's going to be insane. I don't know how they're going to do it, but hey, we'll see.
I'm on Battlefield right now, so
We were going to, and then we all went to BO7, and we're doing Endgame at the moment. So
yeah.
we'll see.
No, that's another thing though. Like, my wife always asks me, "Why do you game?" I'm like, "Because it's just, I don't think about anything. Like, my job is, I work 60 hours a week. It's not a problem right now. I just not thinking about it." So
anything you can do to decompress your brain. Do you know what I mean? It's a great thing. It's a great thing.
Or listening to 12 hours of recordings, it's all the same. Is that Kaylin? Kaylin. Do you know Kaylin? Because she's asking a lot of questions here.
Is it Kallen? Callan?
That's Kallen Sharp.
Yeah. Guess what? That's my cousin. Hello, Callan.
Man, she's asking a lot of questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself in 5 years is basically doing what I'm doing and just being out more in YouTube and traveling. We want to go overseas. So we want to connect with people in different countries, either podcasts, going overseas and catching up with groups. Like, 100%. I know when I go to America, I'm going to be like, "Hey, Ryan, it's that annoying Aussie chick. I'm coming over. We want to go somewhere." So
I'll see you at Waverly.
Yeah, that's you. See you at Waverly, mate. 2 hours, get in the car. I've traveled 200,000 kilometers.
Travel 18 hours, I'll travel too.
That's it. So yeah, we eventually in 5 years want to be able to go overseas and do some overseas investigations and just keep up doing what we're doing and eventually getting this YouTube going so that it's a channel where people can interact and say, you know, give us opinions like, why don't you do this? Why don't you go here? Why don't you provide this? So, yeah, we love what we're doing. And if we're doing what we're doing now in 5 years, I'll be a very happy woman.
No, I mean, that's it. As long as you're happy.
That's it. That's all you can do, mate.
That's all you can do. So, all right. So we're hour 45 minutes into this. So, again, I'll get a hold of you. We gotta get you and your team on again. I appreciate this. This was fun.
Man, loved it.
A lot more questions I have to ask.
Yeah, book us in, mate. I'll get the girls together. We'll scrabble together and we'll make it happen. I know they'd love it, and we're just gonna have to get a talking stick, you know, and be like, all right, now you talk and now you talk, because we love good yarn, which is really cool. So yeah, definitely we're happy whenever you want to organize it. We'll happily work it out as long as we're all available. Happy days.
Yeah, I mean, man, a lot of people just keep Callan's kill going. Oh, wow. What's an unpopular opinion you hold?
Oh, it's one across the paranormal field. So don't anyone attack me over this one. But orbs, like
Thank you. Bam, that's it. We're gonna leave it at that. That's it. Orbs.
Leaving it. No explanation. Just orbs.
That's what I'm saying. You have to come back on because there's so much more we gotta talk about. And orbs will be on the top.
Yeah, okay.
A few orbs. That's all you gotta say. So I mean, I'm not a fan. But Sharpie, no problem, man. Next time they're on, jump on. Tomorrow night. Well, I guess it'll be tomorrow night for you guys too. But tomorrow night I'll have Ghost Sisters on. Huge group in Ohio. So stay. Nice. You want to jump on that? Jump on that. That'll be a great one. They're pretty big over here. So
yeah, we'll definitely. I'm pretty sure I've actually spoken to them on TikTok before. Maybe.
I mean, Mandy's on 6 days a week. She's awesome. She's the one reason I got into social media with my paranormal, watching it first.
And supporting your locals, supporting one another, that's the biggest thing. Hey, like, you know, why not do that? Don't tear each other down, build each other up. It's my theory.
Yeah, we need to get into a collaborating topic. That's in a whole nother podcast. I mean, it's huge over here. So
yeah, that's
we'll
cool.
get into it again. I will Callan, you're gonna have to jump on next time and ask questions. Sorry. I'm not trying to be rude here, but no. I appreciate all the questions. This was awesome. I didn't have to talk too much, so the less I talk, the better. Appreciate insights of the podcast. All right. Well, T, I appreciate it. I will get a hold of you soon, and we'll schedule another one up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, and again, appreciate it. Can't say any more than that. So.
Nah, all good, mate. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been a rad time. You take it easy, eh?
You too. Thank you very much.
See you, mate.
See ya. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.